Welcome, everybody. This is this week's edition of Food is the Best Medicine, Soul, Body, and Mind. And I am your host, Zana Clark, licensed dietitian, nutritionist, and health and personal success coach. So every Friday, I come on about this time to share with you something that is food, nourishing food for the soul, the body, and the mind. And as promised, this week I am talking about brain health because as I am 61 and most of my clients are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, we are always concerned about being able to maintain the power and the health of our brain because we want to be able to be focused and have a great memory and be able to think and not be stuck in brain fog as we age gracefully, right? So that's what a lot of this is about. It's about being ageless. So today I'm going to share with you just a simple smoothie. Everything that I share is quick, simple, nutritious, and delicious. And this is a smoothie that you can have for breakfast, lunch, or as a snack that is very nutritious and delicious. Of course, very quick and simple to make. And it will help give you the nutrients that you need in order to boost your brain power. So, what is it that we need to boost our brain power? Now, generally, it's a lot of the same nutrients that you need for the body. So, in all of my programs, we focus on both the body and the brain. And then, because we are interconnected beings, we focus on the body, mind, and soul, right? So everything interconnected. So today we're talking about the brain in particular. And some of the nutrients that you definitely need for the brain is you do need things that are going to be low in sugar. You need low glycemic. They actually think Alzheimer's is diabetes type 3, right? A blood sugar dysregulation imbalance. So we need to have foods that are going to be low glycemic. They're not going to spike the blood sugar up and cause insulin and a whole hormonal cascade. They're going to keep the level of glucose going into the bloodstream kind of level, and they're going to keep your energy levels more balanced so you're not experienced a big high and then a big crash, where definitely when you're in that crash state, your brain is impacted. Have you ever noticed that when you have not eaten or if you eat a lot of sugar, your brain gets very foggy not long after that, right? And sometimes we can't even speak, like we can't even get the words to come out of our mouth, right? That's a blood sugar imbalance. So we definitely need that. Fiber is one way that we're going to handle that. You need the antioxidants, right? You need to protect the brain cells from damage that can come from inside the body and outside the body. So we need high antioxidants. We need vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and then there's glutathione, and there are a number of antioxidants that support the brain's health. We need protein. We need healthy fats. Healthy fats are key for the brain because your brain is basically made up of fat. So if you do not have the right healthy types of fat in your diet, it will impair the function of your brain. And you will find that your brain cells are going to be sounding like this drill in the background. Yes, I have contractors at my mom's house. They're putting in a new furnace. And just as I was getting ready, that's when they showed up. So we will work around whatever happens today. You need anti-inflammatory compounds. So you need quercetin, right? That's one of them. You could use turmeric, curcumin. There's a variety that you can use. So the smoothie that we're going to talk today about has most of those ingredients, right? So we're going to get fiber. We're going to get fiber from three things. We're going to get fiber from using some cauliflower. We're going to get fiber from using some leafy greens, and we're going to get fiber from using some avocado. So those are three great sources of fiber. We're going to get vitamin C. It's going to come from some fresh squeezed orange juice, as well as we get vitamin C. And actually, all three of these other ingredients also are going to provide us some vitamin C. We're going to get vitamin A coming from the leafy greens, as well as vitamin E. So we have C, E, A as key antioxidants. We have fiber that's coming in. We're going to get quercetin because we're going to add some apple into it. Apple and onions are a great form of quercetin, which is anti-inflammatory. So we've got a number of key nutrients in just this simple smoothie that, as I said, you can have it for breakfast, for lunch, or for dinner. So let's put our little smoothie together. And I actually am going to be trying a different technique for a smoothie because my blender stopped working just like right before the show. So what do? The show has to go on. You come up with an alternative. So we are going to blend this using a hand blender, right? It's always good to have multiple pieces of equipment. We're using about a half a cup of greens, so we're not going to make a big smoothie with this one, but we're going to make enough for us to have as a little snack. It's about 1:45, so this will be kind of my pre-lunch. So I'm putting in about a half a cup of my greens. This is kale that I'm using today. You can also use spinach, right? Spinach will give you a little bit of iron. Kale, however, is less inflammatory than even spinach. Some people have trouble tolerating spinach. So we're using the greens. We're going to put in about half a cup of frozen cauliflower. And if you have, if you have, yes, here comes one of my contractors going through right now. So we have cauliflower that we're using, about half a cup of that. I'm using already frozen from Whole Foods, and frozen vegetables are a great way to not waste your money. And because they're flash frozen, like pretty much as they're picked, you don't lose as many nutrients as when something is picked in Chile and then it's transported here and it's in a warehouse and then it goes into your grocery store and it's sitting there supposedly fresh, but not really that fresh. So sometimes frozen is actually better. If, however, you can get it from a garden, like I got my kale from the garden, then in that case, you can use the fresh kale. All right. So now we're going to go back. I'm adding a little bit of avocado. And if you do not know how to open an avocado, you slice it the long way all around the seed. Okay. Then you can easily just twist and we have our avocado. And this one actually looks pretty good. Sometimes when you open up an avocado, doesn't look so good. I'm going to use about a quarter of avocado in here. This is an anti-inflammatory, healthy fat. I'm going to add a banana, and I will add a half a banana in here because that should be enough to keep this a little sweet, but not where it's going to spike up my blood sugar. Banana is also a good form of potassium, which balances out the sodium. And sodium, too much sodium in your diet is going to cause vascular constriction, which will affect your brain. So that's another reason why low glycemic, low sodium is good for us, not just in terms of our overall body health, but also the function of the brain. I'm adding a little bit of apple, that's my quercetin. And then my liquids are going to be fresh squeezed orange juice, right? So I'm getting all of the nutrients since it's fresh squeezed, and about half a cup of that, and a little bit of water. And you could do that more or less to what works for you. Okay. Now we're going to try this blender approach. So, as mentioned, you can do blending in a couple of different ways. Okay, we got to get this into the hole. There we go. And I generally use a hand blender for soups. It works really good in a big pot. We're going to try it in our container that came in the box. All right. So I'm going to try to keep this down, and I'm going to try to go relatively slow, but it's likely it could splash out. We're going to just try this. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So the buttons are here. So I'm going to just go low. So far, it's pretty good. I'm going low and slow. Low and slow. It's always kind of exciting trying something new. And when you're in the kitchen, you never know what's going to go wrong. You never know if you're not going to have some ingredient, and therefore you need to switch out an ingredient. You're not going to know if your equipment is going to work all the time, even when you just used it. Okay, so you can see that I'm putting it deeper into the bowl, and it's actually blending it up pretty good. And I love the creativity of being in a kitchen. So now I'm getting all the way down to my kale, and I'm actually going to put this on high to try to blend up the greens in the kale. And again, I think this is working actually pretty good. So I'm actually glad this happened today, because a lot of times when people do food demonstrations, you think everything goes perfectly. And then when it doesn't go that way in your house, then you're kind of concerned. How can I make this happen? It's not like it was on the show. But I believe in making things real, because I want you to be able to make things very simply and easily, no matter what happens. Okay. If this had not worked, I would use my food processor and put it in. I have a small food processor, I have a big one, but that's another alternative for making a smoothie if your blender doesn't work. And voila, 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 voila. I will stick my blender stick in there, and I have a beautiful smoothie. Voila, voila. Let me taste it. very, very delicious, quick, simple, and nutritious, supports the body and the brain. And so I invite you to hop on over to my private Facebook group after this. Real Food, Real Joy, Real Healing. I will post the recipe there. I have many recipes on that site, so you can look under the file section and find many recipes that are all quick, simple, nutritious, and delicious. All of them benefit the mind, the body, and the soul. This tastes delicious. It's nourishing to my soul. It's enhancing the function of my brain, and it's definitely boosting the vitality and the health of my body. So here's to you. Enjoy your brain boosting smoothie. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show. Food is the best medicine next week, next same day, same time. Food is the best medicine, soul, body, mind. Have a good week. I'm going to close us out.